episode 136 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. As always, I have so many projects to share with you guys, but like for real, so many things to share. I'm so excited about each and every one of them, and it has been a couple of weeks of lots of making, which is super exciting. I have really made the goal this year to have goals and accomplish them every week. Project wise, I am someone who thrives with to-do lists and things like that, and so if it's on a list, it's going to get done. If it's not on the list, I'm going to forget about it. It's pretty much how it works. Anyway, so I have been very diligent with lists lately and have thus accomplished a lot, which feels good. Anyway, today is Saturday, February the 11th, I believe. I cannot believe we're already in February. I feel like this year is flying by already. January felt kind of long, I guess, but we're already halfway through the month of February, which is crazy. You are seeing this, or at least it will launch on Valentine's Day on Tuesday. So if you celebrate, I hope that you have a beautiful day with you and your loved ones, but also be sure to show love through action and words every single day, not just one day in particular. So yeah, I think that's about it. I have quite a few things to talk about, like I've mentioned, and some finished objects. So let's just go ahead and start off with some of those. Okay, finished object number one is a big one. I, since the last podcast episode, finished and released the Genesis blanket. And this is what it looks like. I love this thing so much. I love how it turned out. And it's beautiful and cozy and squishy and was such a fun knit. It took a very long time because knitted blankets just take a while. That's all there is to it. But I fully enjoyed the process. Definitely already itching to make and design another blanket soon. But yeah, I love it. I'm actually working on, I think I'll show it next episode, but I'm working on a huge knitted commission blanket right now, and so that is taking a lot of time, and I have made myself the well, I shouldn't even phrase it like that. I made myself the goal to not make a blanket until that commission is done. We'll see if I actually hold to that, because crochet blankets are quick, and so I can make one in the time that it takes me to make, I can make like 3 in the time that it takes me to make one knitted blanket. Anyways, moving on from that. But yes, so you can find this pattern on Ravelry and Etsy or my blog. I used Hobie Amigo Chunky in a really gorgeous mustard color. I just love how this blanket turned out, and I cannot wait to use it. I can't wait to have it like in my own house one day. I've just been thinking a lot about that lately. And I love this color so much, so I would absolutely love for it to be like an accent in a room or something and have this be like the feature of that color. But I have I have so many ideas. I'm excited for that season, but it's not here yet. Anyways, so yes, that is a finished object number one. Absolutely love it. It turned out so good. And I'm so glad that it's finally done as well, because it took forever. Okay, next finished object. I had designed this pattern last year, I believe. It's called the Valentine Dishcloth. Just a super simple little heart-shaped dishcloth pattern. And so I made a couple to kind of give the pattern a little bit of a facelift. And then I also wanted to post about it and then offer it for free for a day. So I did all of that last week. And thus made a couple of dishcloths to kind of honor that. But yeah, they turned out so cute. I love these. I really like this pattern because it's very usable. Like the shape is a heart, which is definitely unique than a standard square washcloth or dishcloth. But I really like it. Like, it's definitely still usable. It just uses primarily the half double crochet stitch, which is perfect for dishcloths and things like that. So yeah, really like that pattern. Again, you can find it on Ravelry and Etsy in the blog, but it's also available as a full step-by-step tutorial here on the channel as well. So definitely check that out if you are a more visual learner. But yeah, and then I used Crochet Dishcloth for these, which is my favorite cotton yarn ever. I love it so much. It's perfect for dishcloths, and so that's definitely what I use it for the most. And yeah, that's what I used for those. I still have some cotton that I am trying to work through, and so I need to be diligent about making dishcloths. It's like all right here, like all of these cubbies right here are cotton. And I would love to use it all up over the course of this year. So I'm kind of like slowly making that happen. All right, next finished object. Let's just go ahead and talk about the other pattern I released. So these are the Stitch Heart socks. They turned out so cute. I love them. I shared them last week, I think, or last episode, because they have been done for quite a while. But these are just some super cute cuff down knitted socks. I added some color work, just like I hate all them. I added some color work to the top of the ankle in this heart pattern, and I just love it. I feel like it's the cutest little detail. It's not too difficult, you know, it's just a very small amount of color work and it's only 2 colors, but it provides like just a little bit of interest. For me, it makes the leg of the sock just completely fly by because color work just goes, I mean, it can be slow, it can be tedious for sure, but when it's just 2 colors, it makes it go by so fast, in my opinion, because you just like want to get to one more row or want to finish that section or whatever. So yeah, love how these turned out. I used Hobie, rainbow sock wool, which is a 75-25 blend. It feels very similar to Knit Picks palette to me, but it's kind of got that woolly feel that yarn does, but it's a little bit softer, I think, because of the nylon, so it'll hold up a little bit better than palette would in the form of socks because it is just a 100% wool yarn. But yeah, I think that's about it. I also really love how the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs turned out. I think it works really, really well for this pattern in particular. Kind of makes the hearts pop a little bit more, actually, in my opinion. So yeah, love how they turned out. They're so cute, so cute. It had been a while since I designed and released a sock pattern too, so it was really fun to release that one. Okay, and then a couple more finished objects that aren't designs. So the first of which is this sweater. Guys, this is my favorite sweater that I've ever made, like, just period. I'm just gonna say it because it's true. I love this thing so much. Okay, so this is a top-down raglan knit sweater. I used a pattern. I modified it a little bit. I will link the pattern that I used down below. I changed a few things about it. I did a folded collar, which I don't think was included in the pattern. I could be wrong. And then I think I also used less stitches for the neck. But again, I'm not entirely sure. I need to go back and look at the pattern and write down everything that I did for this specific sweater, so that I can make another one in the future, because I definitely want to do that. But yeah, here's what it looks like. I love it so much. It literally fits perfectly. It is cropped, which you can probably tell. I like these jeans, actually. I typically wear high-waisted jeans. I just like the way they look best. And so this sweater hits right at the top of my jeans, which is perfect. And I have a long sleeve shirt that I wear, you know, under it, kind of like a tank top, but also for more warmth this time of year. And then the sleeves are long sleeves, and I didn't do any decreases until I got down to the cuff, so they are just really oversized and cozy. I also did a folded cuff for the sleeve cuffs, which I really love the look of. I think that was a really fun addition. So yeah, I kind of just took the pattern and made it my own. It's just a basic raglan sweater, but it fits so well. I love it so much, so much. I can't wait to make another one. Definitely itching to start that, but I'm gonna wait until I have, like, you know, all of it written out, exactly what I did, so that I can actually recreate it accurately. Yeah, so that's kind of like the next big step, but I love it so much. So happy it's done, because once again, this one also took a while. I think I started this like before Christmas. But you know, it wasn't a design, it was just something that I was working on here and there, so it wasn't like a huge focus. But yeah, absolutely love how that turned out. And then one more finished object, and I might have left it somewhere else. Where did I put it? It's another sweater. Oh, it's right here. Let me grab it real quick. I don't even have to get all the way up. Okay, so this is a crochet raglan sweater. So I have never made a crochet raglan sweater before this, and I really wanted to just try it. So I did. I did not use a pattern. I made it up. I did math. I'm not sure it was like the right math, like the right formula. I do not know like the formula for designing raglan sweaters. That's something that I really want to learn, but I definitely don't know it yet. So anyways, I kind of just like took my own measurements, took my gauge, and created a sweater from those things. And it worked. It totally worked. I love it. It fits so well. It's not, I don't love it as much as the gray one, and I think part of that is just because it's crocheted versus knit. I think there's just something about the knit fabric that makes it lay a little better as a sweater like this. But I do love how it turned out. I wore it last Sunday to church, and it was super cozy and warm, and I love it. So yeah, I used the same yarn as this one, just in different colors. So this is Cascade Pacific Bulky. The colors are in numbers, and I do not remember either one, but this is like a really deep teal, and then that one's like a khaki gray color. But yeah, so 2 big finished sweaters. Like I said, I have done so much making over the past couple of weeks, which has been amazing. I love it so much. Okay, but that is it for all of the finished objects. Finally, I feel like that was so many. I have one, I think, work in progress to share with you guys before we hop into some designs. So let's go ahead and chat about that. Okay, I just have one whip that I am working on right now that isn't a design, and that is a pair of socks for my brother's birthday, which I think I left the full sock downstairs that I have finished. Oh no, here it is. I have not knit the heel yet, but I have knit everything but the heel, and it's going to be an afterthought heel. So here's what the sock currently looks like. I'm using Knit Picks Felici in the colorway Bookshop, and here's what it looks like. So it's just a vanilla knit sock, 1x1 ripped cuff, and then stockinette leg and foot, and then the toe, of course. I'm going to add the heel right here, right after this black stripe. And then this sock will be completely done. But I did go ahead and just start the second one because we were watching a show, and it was just easier to start the second sock and, you know, knit ribbing and stockinette than it would have been to cut and add a heel. So I just decided to wait for that. But I went ahead and started it, and I'm a couple of stripes into the leg, so not too far. But they are chugging along. I have the goal of finishing these way before his birthday, which is March 3rd. Only a couple weeks into February, so I'm on the right track. I'm hoping to finish them this week. That is my goal. That's one of my making goals this week, is to finish this pair of socks. But yeah, absolutely love them. I love this colorway of Felici so much. I think it is so gorgeous, or handsome, whatever I'm supposed to say. I think this color would be great for a boy or a girl, but these are for my brother, so I probably shouldn't use the word gorgeous. Whatever. Anyway, love them. Super mindless knit, which is great. I love having socks just on the needles because it's so easy. They're so small and portable. I can take them anywhere and have something to work on, and that is so great. I should have mentioned this at the top, at the beginning, whatever, of the episode. But I have a cold or something. I literally don't even know what it is at this point, but voice will probably give out by the time I finish this episode. So just ignore any like squeakiness. I don't know. I feel like our voices sound weird to our ears, or weirder to our ears than they do to other people. But my voice sounds very weird to me right now. So hopefully it's not too annoying or anything like that. Okay, I think that is it for whips that aren't designs. Like I said, I am working on a blanket right now, but I'm just gonna wait and share that next episode because it is going to be extremely repetitive because it is taking me my entire life, it feels like. Not really, but it is taking a very long time. Okay, but let's go ahead and talk about a few designs that I'm currently working on. Okay, design number 1 is actually a baby blanket. So this is going to be releasing soon. This blanket is going to be like this specific one is for baby, but this pattern is going to be easy to modify to be any size you want. You can use any yarn you want. This is the same pattern that I used for my Advent blanket that I finished earlier this year. I also made one of the little girls that I nanny for. I made her a blanket for Christmas that uses the same technique. So it's just a half double crochet quarter to corner blanket. I absolutely love it. I love this style of blanket. I love making them. So easy, and so easy to modify the size. So I finished this one, and I'm going to be using it to write up the pattern, but just know that once that pattern releases, you can make it to be any size you want, any yarn, any gauge, any hook. etc. And I love that about this pattern. So yeah, here is what it looks like finished, though. I love it. Hobby Lobby, I love this cotton in like a really light gray, and I think it turned out so pretty. It's also very drapey. I use a 6mm hook, so it's like the perfect kind of, you know, scrunch it all up and it's not gonna hurt it type of texture and gauge, which I love very much. So yeah, finished that, which is super awesome. And then I am working on a new sweater pattern. And here's what it looks like so far. So I'm not completely done with this, obviously. I have the second sleeve to knit and then a collar. I'm also going to be blocking it and then deciding after that if I want to add a little bit of length to the body, because I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, it's going great so far. I'm using Hobby Amigo Chunky for this project. And I love it. It's so squishy and cozy, fits really well, and it has been so fun to knit. So I'm hoping, like I said, to finish it and then block it and kind of see what it looks like and feels like after that. I want to see how much this yarn changes post blocking as well. But yeah, it's going great. I feel like I don't have a whole lot to say on this because it's definitely still in the design process. I'm working on the pattern right now, and I'm hoping to release it in like March is kind of what I'm hoping for. If I don't release it in March, it won't be until the fall, honestly. But I'm hoping for March, and I think I can make that happen. But anyways, that is that. Not a whole lot to say about it. Like I said, I'm working out a few kinks within the pattern, so it's definitely still kind of in the design process. Okay, 2 more projects to share. The first is yet another garment. This one is done, but I have not woven in all of the ends yet. So it's not, you know, not perfectly done. But I love how this thing turned out. So this is a new cardigan design that I have created. It uses the granny stripe stitch, and I used 2 strands of yarn held together. So the back is like the back, and then the body is like this marbled look. I used 1 strand of the gray and then 1 strand of a colored yarn and striped them or color blocked them. And then the sleeves are just 2 strands of the gray, so they're a solid color. I love this thing. I think it turned out so beautiful. I'm really, really excited to wear it. And yeah, so this is going to be releasing I think in April. That's what I'm thinking about right now. But yeah, I love it. It's like very springy to me, which was definitely the goal. This is a campaign that I'm doing alongside Hobie, so I definitely wanted it to be, you know, very bright and springy. But I love it so much. I think it turned out so cute. I'm very excited to wear it and kind of give it the legit test run, if you will. Okay, 1 more project to share, and it is something that I am very excited about. And this is going to be the next pattern that I release. I don't fall out of my chair first. These are crochet slipper socks. Oh my goodness, guys. I have been wanting to design these, wanting to release them for so long. And it is finally happening. So these are super easy toe up crochet slipper socks. They use the half double crochet stitch. The pattern is going to be written in 3 different sizes, and they are just so cozy and comfy. They don't have a heel, so they're like a tube sock style. I have a pattern already available for knit slipper socks, and it uses the same technique. They are cuffed down instead of toe up, but they don't have a heel. They use a heavier weight yarn and then a larger size needle than you typically would for socks, and they're just designed to be like worn around the house on chilly days with like leggings or pajama pants or sweatpants or whatever. Just supposed to bring you instant comfort is like my hope. So I am obsessed with these. I love them so much. I'm so excited to release the pattern. I am hoping to have a video tutorial to go along with it, but I have not created that yet. So, you know, kind of in a holding pattern because of that. I have not had a chance to film a tutorial, but assuming I can get that done very soon, this pattern will launch very, very soon. So I'm very excited about that. I've been wanting to for a while, and so I'm so excited that I can finally design and release that pattern because it's so easy and beginner friendly, and you can totally make a pair. I love them. Okay, that is finally it for all of the making content for this episode. I feel like I have shown so many projects, but I do have a little devotional that I would love to share with you guys, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a few minutes. Okay, so over the past couple of weeks, I have been going through this Bible study on Colossians by the Daily Grace Co. I think this is one of the first Bible studies I have done by them, but I absolutely love it. I am itching to do so many more, so I definitely think more of these will be in my future. They are so detailed and thorough. There's questions to ask every day, passages to memorize. It's just so beautiful. I've loved doing this every day so much. It has just become such a sacred part of my routine with the Lord each day. But on this specific day, this passage stood out to me and I wanted to share it with you guys. So like I said, this is a Bible study on the book of Colossians. This specific day was week 2, day 3. It was called The Supremacy and Sufficiency of Christ, based on Colossians 1 verses 15 through 17. And then this passage says, Verse 15 begins by declaring that Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Jesus is God made visible. He is fully God while also being fully man. And if we want to know who God is, we must look to Jesus, because it is through Jesus that God is revealed to us. In Christ we see a God who has created all things, who reigns over all things, and yet has come near to us. Through the miracle of the incarnation, God became a man and entered our humanity. In Jesus, we behold the radical love of God that breaks down barriers and pursues us in love. Through Jesus, the glory of God that has always been invisible has been gloriously made visible before our eyes. And this book is just full of powerful passages and words of encouragement like those. But that specific passage just really stood out to me. It just beautifully highlights how amazing and how big of a miracle it is that Jesus came and lived and then died and rose again for the forgiveness of our sins, that we might come to know him and come to know God, our Father. He opened the way for us to have a personal relationship with him, and I think that is so beautiful and such a miracle and so amazing, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to have a relationship with him. And then the biggest thing that stood out is the sentence that said, in Jesus we behold the radical love of God that breaks down barriers and pursues us in love. Something I've been thinking a lot about lately is just how he pursues us. He wants a relationship with us in spite of all that we've done, in spite of if we even want a relationship with him. Our hearts can be so hard, yet he pursues us so passionately, and it just beholds the wonder of who our God is. So I just pray that, as you're celebrating this holiday with those you hold close, I pray that it's a time of goodness and embracing the love of others. But I pray that first and foremost, you know how loved you are by the Most High God, and how nobody's love on this earth could ever compare to how much he loves you and how much he desires to know you and seek a relationship with you. And I think that the outpouring of our relationship with him is what flows into all areas of our life. And so I want my relationship with him to be strong and rooted in the hope and love and mercy and grace that is found in Christ Jesus. And I want that to be the reason that I do all things, and I want that to be what I can fall back on and build up from in every aspect of life. So I pray that that was an encouragement for you. I highly recommend this devotional. I will link it down below if they still sell this exact one. I know this specific one is a couple of years old, but I imagine they still sell it. I was looking at their website this week, and I just want to get all of them. Just to be honest, I want to get all of them. But anyways, I'll link this down below if you want to check it out yourself. The book of Colossians is so impactful. I'm really enjoying going through it in this way, in just like a detailed study. I feel like you can get a lot more out of it than I would if I was just reading it on my own, which has been very, very beneficial. And then one other thing that I wanted to mention, I've been listening to a song lately that I will link down below because it is so good and kind of ties a little bit into that study itself. It's called Empty Room by Kate Thompson. It just released, but it's all about how God just wants our heart. He just wants a personal relationship with us. He just wants it to be him and us and him, however the correct grammatical way to say that is, because that definitely was not right. But I will link that song below if you want to check it out. But it's really beautiful. It's just very humbling and very encouraging to pour into quiet time with just him and just you, because that's all he wants. So yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed watching this podcast. I hope that has been an encouragement and an inspiration in any way that it possibly can be. I am so grateful for you, and I am so grateful for this platform. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. And then don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, happy making. Bye.
Thank you.